Throughout the entire history of humankind, the control of all buying and selling and the tracking of all individuals has been impossible. In fact, for hundreds of years, skeptics have said such a day would never come, but now we have entered the computer age, and many United Nations bureaucrats are giving this idea serious consideration. This is where we're headed, people. Okay? This is where we are headed, and what's coming down the line right now is biometrics, and biometrics is connected to the mark of the beast. It's a global body ID system, or your body will be your ID. Now, I want to read this to you right here. This is what's coming down the line, people. Like I always say, don't take my word for it. Do your own research and see if these things are so. But these things are so. These things are happening. Anybody that has been studying Bible prophecy and seeing the changes that are taking place right before our very eyes, cash is leaving us, and this is what they're talking about bringing in. Your body is your ID. Enrolling the world into a single global biometric ID system. The world is being enrolled into a single global system of identification and financial control. One's body is now directly linked to the control of financial transactions. Where did we hear that before? You see that? One's body is now directly linked to the control of financial transactions. So using a body part to do a financial transaction, exactly what the Bible says. No one will be able to buy or sell unless they have a mark on their right hand or on the forehead. Okay, let's continue reading. Directly linked to the control of financial transactions throughout biometric ID, an international ID system that uses computers to automatically identify individuals based on unique characteristics such as facial image, facial recognition, and digital fingerprints are common forms of biometrics. Almost all states and nations now use biometrics to identify their residents. Facial recognition software uses high-resolution photo to create a digital map of the face. This map is linked to other personal data, named social security number, etc., to create one's unique biometric identification. A photo collected for a driver's license, ID card, DLID card, or passport can be used to directly enroll individuals into a global ID system over which they have no control, and that can be used to identify and track individuals in public using surveillance cameras. To create a global biometric system, states and nations must, number one, enroll their citizens' DLID cards, passports, national ID, school ID, etc. Number two, adopt national standards for documents, photos, and data sharing. Number three, link databases for global information sharing, global ID tracking, and surveillance. Such a system is the goal of the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, according to Robert Mulley, DHS U.S. visit, who stated that the information sharing is occurring around the world, and DHS plans to create a global security. Look at that, global security. We all need security, don't we? Which is all. Where's all the problems come from? It comes from government. Government is corrupt, as they say. Absolute power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So we need global security involved of international shared biometric data that would primarily link individuals with biometric ID, personal information held by governments and corporations. Database sharing turns state IDs into a global ID card. A global ID card, people. This is what's coming down the line real fast. So I want to get into this right now and explain it. Okay. So, you see what they're doing? This is what's taking place, people. Now I want to get into this. Biometric stands for 3 measurements of the body. They're going to analyze your hand. You're going to put it on a machine. It's going to read it. They're going to put your hand, your fingerprints, everything into the database, into their mega computer. Like, they already have databases on us, but they want us. They want it to link a financial transaction to a body part. They want all this stuff on us, putting us all onto databases. So they're going to take your hand, analyze it, put it into the database, and the next step would be putting these things on your eyes. It takes a picture of your eyes. Now, they got your eyes in their database, and then they take a digital photograph of your face. Now, your face is in the database. So you're going to get a national ID card with a picture of your face on it, with a fingerprint, or your eye will be on there. So how are you going to take out cash? You cannot take out cash unless you put that in there, and the thing's going to read your fingerprint, or it's going to read your eye. So you're going to put your card into the banking machine, and there's probably going to be a red light that turns on, which is telling you to put your finger on the light, or there'll be a red thing that will flash, and you go put your eye next to it, and it scans your eye, or it scans your fingerprint. So it's reading the fingerprint, or it's reading the eye, to see if it matches the same eye and the same fingerprint that is on the card that is reading it while it's in the banking machine. And if it verifies that you are the person, then accepts, and you can take out the cash that you want. So if it's not identifying you, you cannot have it. It's not going to give you the cash. This is a financial dictatorship, people. This is what's coming down the line. So think about this now. How are they going to pull something like this off? For those of you that know how the government works, they work through fear and manipulation. They are criminals. They're premeditated. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. Criminals know exactly what they're doing. How to make their plans work, how to make their plans operate. So this is what they're going to do. We have been fighting fraud for so many years. So many people's cards have been stolen. Blah, 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 blah. And counterfeited. People giving false security numbers. Nobody knows if it's really false or not. And so many people have been getting their money stolen from different countries. So, what could we do? And plus, many people are making fake IDs that are leading to so many problems in our world. And plus, cash is the reason for crime. We have prostitution. We have taxi invasions. We have bank robberies. We have drug dealers going from city to city with all these drugs with suitcases full of cash. And by the way, cash is filthy lucre. That's what they're saying. That cash is the reason for the H1N1, because there's viruses on the cash. We need to go to a new system, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is done electronically, so we're going to have to bring everything in. Even banking is done electronically over the internet. Everything you do is electronic. Cash, very soon, will be a thing of the past. This is what they're bringing in. So they're going to throw on the crisis, and they're going to use that too. Oh, so much money has been stolen. Like the politics fighting with each other, but it's all a game, ladies and gentlemen, okay? This is all a ball game. They're all in the same thing. It's all acting. It's a play. It's all a play. That's all that it is. Well, what happened to all the money? We don't know where all that money went. Well, how much money? We don't know. It got stolen or blah, blah. It went missing and nobody knows where all that money went. Well, maybe if we were in a cashless society, we won't have to worry about all the bailouts. We won't have to worry about all the money gone. Why? Because it will all be done digitalized. It will be all it will all be by the tip of our fingers, right on the keyboard. Everything will come up on our database. Now, this is what I want to get into, the dangers of this thing here. Once somebody hands over their biometrics, this is connected to the mark of the beast, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or don't believe it. My job is not to make anybody believe. My job is just to deliver the information. You do what you want with it. But remember, when it comes down the line, I warned you that this was coming. So once you hand over your biometrics into this database, you are forever a marked man and you are forever a marked woman. Now, sometime in the future, when the mark of the beast comes down the line, they have everything about everybody. Everybody that handed over their biometrics We have them in the database. Say if your name is, let me just say George Springs, for an example. Okay, we see George Springs handed over his biometric. Hey, he got a national ID card. Okay, let's see now if he registered for this new mark of allegiance. Let's type in George Springs. Enter. George Springs comes up. It says here that he registered for biometrics, but there's no record here that he took the mark. He does not have this new identification system. It does not say that he's a worshipper of this new world leader that has come and brought global peace to our world. So it says here he lives at this address, he lives here, here, here. Okay, he does this, he does this. Okay, let's see if we can send an officer to his house, see if he's there, just to verify. Maybe he didn't plan to get the chip yet, but he's coming. Well, we'll just send someone just in case. They're going to know everything, people. They're going to know everything. They're going to know all those people that did not take the chip. Well, I don't know if it's going to be it could be electronic tattoo mark, okay? It could be a biometric mark, or it can be a chip, a computer chip underneath the skin. They're going to know everybody. Everybody that takes this biometric system, which they're trapping people in. They're really slack. They're sucking everybody into their trap. Because once you hand over your biometrics, they'll be able to identify you in the future. Those people that did not take the mark, they just type in because they have all the list of people that handed over their biometrics, and all they have to check. Let's see if they took the mark. They type in all those people that took the biometrics and see if they registered to take this mark. They type in their names and say, oh, he's not registered, and they still have his name because he handed over his biometrics, so they don't have his name for the chip. But yet it says he registered for the biometrics at this time, at this date. But yet it doesn't say that he registered for the mark. Let's send the patrol officer over to his house. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. There's no place to hide. This is what's happening. They want to track us. They want to link us. They want to scan us. They want to screen us. They want to profile us. They already have secret profiles on us with these cell phones that are tracking everybody. Everything that is here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me read this to you guys right here, where I send this to my friend today. This is what's taking place, people. This is what people need to understand. This is not a joke. This is for real. I'm not making anything up. You guys can go ahead and think I'm cool, I'm crazy, I'm whack. Go right ahead. I don't care what people think. I'm just telling people the truth. Just remember when this comes down the line. Look at this. Look at this about Facebook here. Facebook may add your profile photo to facial recognition database, NBC. Right on the NBC News. Let me see if I can read this fast. See what it is. This is what's happened, people. They are sucking everybody into the matrix. Everybody's going into the matrix system. This is what's taking place. All these surveillance cameras outside are scanning your face. They're facial recognition software cameras that are scanning your face to see if you're wanted in another country. And they know who you are. For those of you that have driver's license, and for those of you that have Medicare cards with your face on it and everything, so you're already in a database. Your face is already in a database. All your history and the medical records are already in their computer. So when they grab your face off of the street from those surveillance cameras, when you go out in public, it identifies, because they read your face. Your face is already known in their computer, and that camera sucks it in to see if you're in a database. Boom, you're going to pop up right away. All your medical records, everything about you already popped up. They already have mega databases on us, people. It's just going to get worse. Look at this. Facebook. Facebook may add your profile photo to facial recognition databases. Alex something. Facebook is considering corporation its first billion-plus member profile photos into its growing facial recognition database, expanding the soft of the social network conversal technology, and it goes on and on and on. The possible move, which Facebook revealed in an update to its data use policy on Tuesday, is intended to improve the performance of its tag, suggests future in the future of facial recognition technology. You spend up progress of, it just goes on and on and on, ladies and gentlemen. I want to get into another thing. because I wish I can go on and on. There's so more. Like, they have an organization, an echelon. They created it after World War II. It listens to every telephone conversation. It captures all your text messages, faxes, emails, you name it, regardless of the language that it's in. It translates it all by satellite. It's all translated. This is where we are, man. And right here, the NSA tracking cell phone locations worldwide, 5 billion cell phone locations a day. Imagine, a day. And then this comes out in the open. The FBI can spy through your webcam without turning on the light on your computer. Like, this is for real, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's going on, okay? This is what's taking place. This is what is taking place. These people said what their main goal is to turn this whole entire world into a prison planet. They get pleasure in it. They write books on it. They wrote the book Hope and Tragedy, where we're shifting the world, we're reforming the world, total control over the finances of the world, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds. I don't care who changes the law. As long as I control the currency, you know, if I control the currency, I control the money. If I control the money, I control the food. If I control the food, I control the people. Absolute power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Remember that. For evil man to prosper is for good man to do nothing. And I'm coming out here and I'm exposing these people for who they are. Destroying so many people's lives. They engineered the economic collapse in 2008. They engineered it. It said to give them more power and more control. And you have China and Russia coming out. The only way that we can resolve this economic collapse is if we set up a global currency. That's what their plan is. To bring their new world order out of chaos. It's called problem, reaction, solution. We create a crisis, we offer the solution. People react differently when they're in fear, when they're in panic. They will accept things that they never would accept if they were in their normal state of mind. These people know exactly what they're doing, people. And what they want is control of your life. That's why when you're in a cashless society, they can kill you. They don't even have to throw you into a FEMA camp. Say you go to a store. Okay, you go to a store. You put your hand on the machine. It says access denied. For some reason it's not working. Your thing's frozen. It's not working. What are you going to do? You can't do nothing. You have no food. You can't buy nothing. You're screwed. You're finished. But yet now we have the privilege still. You go to a store. You put your credit card or whatever. It says you owe the bank this many transactions, this many fees. It's frozen. You know, I have no problem. I go in my purse. I go in my wallet. I pay with cash. But in a cashless society, you would not be able to do that. You would not be able to do this, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's coming down the line. This is what is coming down the line. Right now, it's in the Obama, it's in the immigration bill. President Obama, he had 3 people help him pass it in. That it's mandated. Everybody in America has to hand over their biometrics. China's going into it. Japan, I mean, it's called ZukiNet. They're all going in a cashless database. Everything is happening, people. And I want to read this to you. This is exactly what the Bible prophesied. Linking a financial transaction to a body part. Getting people conditioned for the mark of the beast. And you have so many people, oh, you guys have been saying Jesus is coming for over 2,000 years. He hasn't come back yet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is different. Things are not the same anymore. They are so close to pulling off this thing. Think about it. Because right now, Bible prophecy is on the decline in America, Canada, throughout the whole entire world. And I believe that this is spiritual warfare. Think about it. If the Antichrist and Satan was this close to wrapping up his plan, which book would he keep people from reading? The book of Revelation. We are so close. Everything's about to be pulled off right now. I got stuff to show you guys here. But before I get into that, I want to read the book Revelation chapter 13. Look what it says. It says it clearly. So clear as day. And yet this is happening. This is going to happen, people. Revelation chapter 13 from 16 to 18. This is what it says. He causes all means all, universal, the whole world. In order for that to happen, there has to be a global currency. And isn't it funny that at the G20 summit, they said not in the not too distant future, they want a one world monetary leader. One person that is in control of all the money. You're not going to have the Canadian dollar, the US dollar, the Japanese dollar, the Australian dollar, all of that. We're all going to be one. Everybody's going to be sucked into the system. Everything's going to be one. So it says clear, he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark. Not a new credit card, not new money. It says clearly to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the name of his name. And that no man may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. Digits, people. This is coming down the line, and this is two-pause solution. It's all connected to a worship system. Because Revelation chapter 14 gives a clear warning. Whoever takes the mark of the beast is going straight to hell. Revelation chapter 14, I'll start from verse 9. Then a third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if anyone worships the beast and his image, and receives his mark on his forehead or on his hand, he himself shall also drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out full strength into the cup of his indilection. He shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascends forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night. Whoever worship, look at that word worship the beast and his image, and whoever receives the mark of his name. It's coming, people. It's coming. And yeah, people are excited because of these things, you know. This just shows me how many people do not know anything about Bible prophecy. They have these kids that are going to these amusement parks and all these other places. You know how they get in? They have this thing on their wrist. They just swing their wrist, go beep, and it's, wait, I'm a slave. I can play with my wrist with the swipe of a hand. Isn't that cool? No, it's not. They're just getting people conditioned for what's coming. That's just a prelude to what is coming down the line. And these other people that go into the store, you see, I don't have a wallet, I don't have a credit card, I don't have cash. How am I going to pay it? By this wrist badge that I have. I'm just going to swing it, beep, and that's how I'm going to pay for it. And people are so excited. It's just incredible where we are right now, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to get into this. I really want to get into this because people need to be aware of this. 9/11 was an inside job. Okay? 9/11 was an inside job. Anybody that does their research will know that because they have the firefighters that came out and said they heard explosions going off in the buildings and so many other things. There was bombs that were placed in the buildings. And there's so many other things that are reported. Anyways, this was in 2013, this thing right here, a tattoo that they developed. It says a new biostamp tattoo is developed that attaches to the wearer's skin and will allow them to replace all passwords and all other forms of identification. And yet in 2002, the FDA came out, they approved an implantable human microchip. They're tested on the animals. Guess who they're planning putting them on next? Human beings. Well, some people already have them. People that are in high-tech security already have microchips implanted in them. They have them in, they're putting them in the Alzheimer people. What's wrong with these people? People that have no memory or are not in their right state of mind, they're putting chips inside of these people. That's why people need to stand up for the elderly people. They are chipping people. This is what's taking place. And look at this. They all throw it on the society. It's a good thing. It can save your life. They have it in the Law and Order show. This little girl that got chipped. The CIA, the woman there. What is it? Or not the CIA, but the detective. What is it? She's like, they put a chip in me. She's like, no, they didn't. They probably just said that to make you talk or whatever. She's like, no, they put a chip in me. So she showed her. She's like, what is that? I told you they put a chip in me. Then after they went into this place, RFID. This is right on Law and Order, people. They are throwing it on the society. They are preconditioning people to acceptance. Is it RFID stands for radio frequency identification? Why in the world would they put that into a person? He's like, oh, save their life. In the future, this can hold, how much can this hold? He's like, this can hold this, like so much information on this little chip. And then the old guy there with the glass, he's like, well, welcome to the New World Order. And then after they found out that they put the chip in the little girl, because if she wanders off and she gets lost, they can identify her immediately by satellite. Isn't that nice? More security. More ending my rights. But this is a lie, people. This is a lie. Total control. Because they just have to Google your your microchip number, and they can identify you immediately. Exactly where you are. Exactly where you are. By satellite. Even that too, man. Because they have these radar guns, they point at your house. They can tell if you're in there because the light flashes, or they can see you where you are. But now they're talking about connecting that to satellite so they can see. Imagine, from outer space, people, they can tell if you're in your house by satellite, by the lights flashing from their computer. They're going to know everything during the tribulation. Nobody's going to be able to hide from nothing. And look at this, right on 60 Minutes, people. This is from 60 Minutes. We need some system for primarily identifying safe people. So we needed to identify safe people. Yeah, right. Look what it says. We need some system for primarily identifying safe people. Most of us are never going to blow anything up, and there's got to be something better than one of these photo IDs. I wouldn't mind having something planted primarily in my arm that would identify me. That was from the guy Andy something from 60 Minutes. And guess what? That was shortly done after 9/11. They created a crisis, they offered a solution. And look what happened after 9/11. They created the Verichip Corporation. They created the FDA. Now you have Digital Angel preparing the microchips by the thousands. This is what's going on, people. And now you have John Walsh from America's Most Wanted. This is what he had to say. John Walsh of America's Most Wanted said about implants. It is a brilliant idea. I wish someone would develop it because, number one, time is crucial. When a child is missing and you could locate them by the chip, and even if you weren't lucky enough to locate them, finding the body is crucial for two things: the ending of the search of the presents and helping with the prosecution of the case. So I hope that somebody develops that in my lifetime. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. John Walsh. They already developed it. And it just gets worse, people. If we don't have a chip in us, we are terrorists. We are dangerous people if we don't have a chip in us. Listen to this. Because if you're not chipped, you're probably hiding something and are absolutely dangerous. It's called an invasion of privacy. It's called an invasion of privacy, and I'm not handing my stuff over to a bureaucrat, some crazy control freak. Look at this. It goes on, man. It just gets worse. And believe it or not, even the former Pope is saying being tracked with this technology is perfectly fine. He even implants it for his staff at the Vatican. And you know what happened after he said that speech? Or after he said that? Somebody came and said, you know what? That was a good thing, you know? The Pope said there's nothing wrong with being tracked with this RFID. So it's good that the Pope is saying this has nothing whatsoever to do with the book of Revelation. That was really good to hear that coming from a Pope. What does the Bible say, my friend? The whole world is going to be duped by the false prophet and the Antichrist. Line up and take your chip. Nothing wrong with it, eh? And yet people that don't know the Bible, are not knowledgeable of the mark of the beast, are going to follow right into this. And listen to this too. This is totally insane, people. This is what's taking place, man. And look at this. And we soon see FBI, DHS, bulletins, and soon, and we soon see FBI, DHS bulletins distributed to doctors, retailers, and government bureaucrats about how to identify, suspicion behavior, threatening activities of non-chippers. If you see unchipped, say something. It's your duty. Yeah, say something. I'm going to say something because I don't have a chip. Yeah, right. It's called an invasion of privacy, people. You know what? Hitler or Stalin or Lenin or Mao Zedong, they would have given their left arm for this technology that we have today to control its people. Because these chips, they can take total control over you. They can inject poison into you. It takes control of your mind, your brain waves, and everything. This is why they want control. They don't like that we have cash. because you can do whatever you want with cash. They cannot track you with cash. Once you're in a total cashless society, they can track you. And so many people work under the table. They want to stop that and everything. They're going to use every kind of thing to accept this cashless society. They're going to make it sound like a good thing that everybody has to take this. This is what's coming down the line, people. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand that this is coming down the line very, 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 very fast. Even the FBI, they said that the next generation's identification is biometrics. And they have been working on a 1 billion biometric program. This is coming down the line, people. It's already in America. It's going, like they said, America is going into biometrics. Where else? Japan. Africa by 2015 or 14. In Nigeria. Everybody's going to a biometric ID program, people. This is the global elitist plan, is to have everybody on the planet have a national biometric ID card. Total control over everybody. I'm not handing over any of my stuff. Your identity, ladies and gentlemen, is yours. And computers lie. Computers make mistakes. They can take your identity and make it look like that you were somewhere when you weren't somewhere. Don't hand over anything. This is an invasion of privacy. Don't believe the lies of the government. They are liars. They are control freaks. They are working for Satan. They're working for him. They're setting up the Antichrist kingdom, which will be total. Satan's going to rule the whole world by a single leader, one world leader, a one world dictator, going into dictatorship, people. So this is what's taking place. So don't hand over anything. They're going to make it all sound good. This is reasonable. We have a new technology, blah, blah, blah. It's going to protect you from identity theft. And by the way, identity theft is global. It's worldwide. So we all come together. We come up with a great solution. No, they haven't. This has been part of their plan since the very beginning. So just remember when this happens. Don't hand over your biometrics. Not if, but when, because it's coming. And it cannot be stopped. Yeah. America is already in it. Japan's going into it. Africa's going into it. Europe, Germany, Mexico, and the United Nations is calling for every single person on the planet to have a national biometric ID card. And without it, you cannot have activities, you cannot have a bank account, you can't have nothing. Every person that's in the United Nations is controlled by them. They're going to do whatever the United Nations tells them to do. This is where we are, people. Stand up, do what is right. These people are not your friends. They are your enemies. They even said it in their own documents. The common enemy of humanity is man itself. Remember that. These people are dangerous. They are possessed by Satan. This is all I got to say. I'm signing off, and God bless you all. I just wanted to leave this warning behind with humanity. Do not hand over your biometrics. It's connected to the mark of the beast system. This is all I got to say, and I'm signing off, and God bless you all.